We endorse those sentiments. Start of the game at Waverley Park and a good bounce to get us underway. Everett with a big run. Gardner got the fist on the ball though. Spills wide of the pack. Francis had missed the ball. Everett picks it up immediately into the action. Gives it to Young. Young down towards half forward. This is Thompson. Feeds it back. Zilla. Zilla from about 52 metres out on the breeze. Goal! Shades of the opening against Hawthorn on this ground a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, just the start St Kilda needed to get a little bit of impetus going against a quality opposition. Stephen Zilla, he'll be using the midfield rotation that we've seen St Kilda be accustomed with. That's a good release of handball, but that's a direct approach at goal. Exactly the start St Kilda and Timmy Watson would be looking for. They're happy. That's how you jump into a good quality game. No doubt today will provide that.
Stephen Zilla kicking his 5th goal for the season. Magnificent start by the Saints, coming off a big win over Carlton. Gardner in the ruck. The Eagles undefeated this year. Yardstick of the competition, Big Spider Burton back from his self-imposed 4-match suspension. Here's a chance for Francis. What a revelation he's been for St Kilda. Cousins, magnificent last week, best on-ground performance to Braun, his partner in crime. Such important players today for the Eagles. Cousins to the half-forward line, Burke playing out in front. He's got the big job playing on Philip Matera. But at 5 last week, the hand pass was a poor one to Elliott. Burke recovers quickly, goes short out towards centre wing and finds McLaren.
Free kick to
now
Philip
the ball
Matera.
is coming back, and Philip Matera's got the free kick. Most improved player in the competition this year. Mitchell wide on a lead. That's been ignored. Scotty Cummings is in the square, caught in 2 minds. Goes short. Coming out was his brother in Peter. Hitting the ball hard was Mitchell, caught high by Reid. No free kick, they'll ball it up just outside of 50.
Interesting start. In defence for the Eagles, Jankovic playing on Hall, and Belotti's got low. Everett held, no free kick, battles after it. Loose ball, Everett still over it. Mitchell dragged down by Banfield. Hand pass wide. Brown slaps it wide as still. This is Reid against the flow. Scrambles it forward. It bounces towards the 50. Morrison to Gardner. Everett put him down. Enjoyed it too, I fancy. Hudgton, the loose ball. Francis giving them wonderful service. Demanding the lead. Kicking it high up towards the wing. Hall coming up. Wirapunda going back is hurt. He's down. Thompson.
Free kick.
Wirapunda's going to get a free kick.
Well, I thought he may have even taken the mark, Dennis, because if you take the mark and the ball is jolted out of your arms, then it's a free kick. It's a mark, and I think clearly there he had taken that mark and the ball was jolted out of his hands.
I think you're right.
And it took courage too.
Wirapunda on the wing. Little chip pass out wide. It bounces obligingly for Jankovic, who's away. There's the bounce, if you don't mind. He's 65 metres out, and that's out of bounds on the full. He kicked it straight into the legs of Matera, who was coming up to Shepherd. And it bounced out of bounds. So,
are you surprised that Jankovic is playing, Dennis?
Well, he wasn't out during the week, but the Eagles always adamant he would play.
So we see Brown on a lead. That's been ignored. There's Belotti over the top, thumps the ball away, pounced on by Brown. Gets the ball back to Harvey. That's his first touch. Kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. Wakeland comes out and takes a big grab. They set it up inside 50. Plenty of runners. Mitchell is marked in front of Guy McKenna. He's kicked 12 goals for the season.
And that's a terrific run there by Wakeland, KB. He was the one who really took off from the defensive part of the ground. Made Cummings work out of that area, got free, got used, assessed his options on the way through, found Mitchell unopposed. Here's a good chance for the Saints to kick their second.
It's been an important player for Tim Watson, 12 goals for the season. He is a goal kicker. He's got the breeze behind him, 45 metres out. He has nailed it.
Yeah, just the start the Saints wanted. There was Wakeland on screen. He was the player that orchestrated that set up for Mitchell to kick his first for the day. St Kilda's second. There's Brown in tight, working hard to give the ball to his teammate in Harvey. As we know, he uses the ball exceptionally well. Wakeland got back from the mark very quickly. That was the key in that setup. Seeing Mitchell running forward into space, weighted the ball to his advantage, and he took an easy mark.
So Gavin Mitchell has kicked 13 goals for the season. His best effort with the Dockers was 11 for a season in 1996. So He's way above that pace, ahead of it already, and lots of games up his sleeve. Everett, an influence. Francis inside the 50. Rapunda dropped it. Bellotti over the ball. McIntosh around it. Hand passes back. Djakovic deep in the pocket. Chips it out wide. Cousins has it now. Slips over. Still time. Off his step. Up towards the wing. Reaching over the top. Gardner. Young in front. Good grab. Former Hawk. Young down towards the attacking 50. He'll direct it. McInnes built the mark. Zilla hasn't got the footy. He'll get the free about 60 metres out. Stephen Zilla. Saints lead it by 12 points. They're kicking with the breeze. Rain is forecast later in the afternoon. Never had it. Zilla. Centering kick. Tailor-made for Hall. Well, Djakovic hung off him. Hall came up, took the mark directly in front, 20 metres out. If we think back a couple of weeks ago against Hawthorn, similar start by the Eagles. They got back to win that one, but Hawthorn booted the first 3 goals, and another slow start from the Eagles.
Dennis, just on that slow start, interesting to note, the Eagles came out in the pre-match warm-up for 5 minutes, and the Saints were on the ground for about 15 to 20 minutes.
The Eagles came out very late, Aussie. Hall for an 18-point lead, straight through the middle.
Yeah, Barry Hall has certainly been a revelation over the last 3 or 4 weeks since he came back into this St Kilda team. He leads very directly, much the same as Mitchell White for the West Coast Eagles. Djakovic stood off the contest. You've got to go with your direct opponent and at least be competitive while the ball's in the air. Barry Hall is certainly an important player in that forward structure for St Kilda. Gives them a little bit of strength and stability and can kick a goal.
Let's go down to Richard Osborne with the bench for the West Coast Eagles.
Jones, Embley, Williams and Chad Rintoul.
Barry Hall, slow start to the season, top 4 weeks in the tribunal from the finals last year. They go forward and Stewie Lowe's got it. He's been in great form, Stewie Lowe. Expect him also to have a run in the ruck today. Kicks to the square. Hall again in front. This time it was thumped away by Djakovic. Wirapunda, an exciting young talent. To Cousins. They share the ball out of the back pocket. Wirapunda really wasted possessions to Bellotti. What a game he played last week on Grant. To McKenna. Cool. Under pressure. Sets it up to Banfield. He's got the job playing on Robert Harvey. Just dribbles the ball along the ground for a boundary throw-in. Banfield on screen. There's Tim Watson. He'll be thrilled with the start today. Haven't beaten a side in the top 8 as it stands at the present. 16 degrees, expected maximum 17, so we're just about right on cue. Everett, some pushing and shoving with Gardner. Got his hands on the ball. Young tried to weave his way out of trouble. Morrison, the tackler. I'll ball it up on centre wing.
And KB, it's interesting watching some cat and mouse tactics. Zilla's coming off centre wing, trying to pick up Cousins. Now Reid, knowing that Zilla's been a very important player, started on Young on centre wing. Now he's trying to pick up Zilla, trying to break the tag for Cousins.
Speak of the devil. Cousins back to Reid. Drives it around the outer side. It floats out of bounds on the full. No, touch wasn't off the boot. Okay. Boundary throw in. The attacking side of left centre wing. Jones waiting to come on. Gardner and Everett. A whistle. And a free kick, I think, is going. No, it's going back to the boundary umpire.
He just wasn't happy with the throw in.
Didn't get the required distance. That'd be handy in golf. Tossed in. Everett and Gardner. Gardner directs it down. Close to the boundary line. Spinning out of trouble. Cousins. Well played. Braun on the up. Banfield arches the back. Slips away 75 metres out. Lucky kick. It came off to Ball on the bounce. Ball feeds it back inside the centre square. This is Morrison. Gets by Young. Gets by Elliott. Runs inside the 50. Heads for home and holds up in the breeze. Banfield and/or Burke. That is a terrific effort by 2 Warriors, and the umpire can't split it. Heads were bobbing. He called for the photo. He's going to bounce it.
Dennis, I think it was actually touched off the boot.
Oh, what an anticlimax, Aussie. You could have just bitten your tongue on that, couldn't you?
So a chance for the Eagles. Ball might have been caught high. Matera had it and lost it. Francis. He's had a terrific season. 9 seasons with Collingwood. Many thought his career was finished. To Harvey. He's got Banfield as his opponent today. Great chasing. Francis, good enough to get the kick away. Here comes big bad, bustling Barry Hall, goes bang, crashes into McIntosh. Boundary throw-in, there he is on screen. The boy from Broadford, top 4 weeks from last year's final, goes at it hard, so did McIntosh. St Kilda have won the last 3 encounters against the West Coast Eagles. On the half-forward line, Stewie Lowe doing the ruck work. Wirapunda didn't find his target. Metropolis just shoveled the ball out to Banfield. Back to Mitchell, quick kick. The whistle's gone. It's going to the Eagles.
And the Eagles have had to make a change. They've just had too many tools in their forward part of the ground. Ball's gone to pick up Everett. They've taken Gardner off the ground to bring Jones onto a half-forward flank.
Wirapunda takes the mark from the Banfield kick. He's on the wing. Saints by 18 points. White again, hard running, storming up the ground. Back to Banfield, who initiated things. He kicks across the ground, but the Saints have got the numbers out there. This is McLaren. He's away in a speedster. Trouble for the Eagles now. Lots of trouble. McLaren about 75 metres out, pulls it back. Jakovic will need to go, and he did. That was a great pluck. Comes away from full back. Wirapunda, right half back, up towards the wing. Jones comes on the lead. Great disposal. Michael McGuan is breathless. And Jones has the footy. White runs for him. Hudson goes with him. Jones ignores all of that and kicks it directly to Lowe. Stewie Lowe, left half back.
Building that wall across half back. Lowe, back to Wirapunda. In front, over the top was Brown. Keeps the ball alive. Mitchell, Wirapunda goes in hard. Tries to get support from Jones. They dive on top and they'll ball it up. Just inside the boundary line, there's Mitchell.
KB, it'd be interesting to see the turnovers at this stage, uncharacteristically of the West Coast Eagles. They're just missing targets at will at this point.
Well, not if that man on screen gets the ball in his hands. David Wirapunda. He's a magnificent kick. Everett, first touch of the ball. Zilla, tough in the clinches. Centres the ball. It's a great kick. Sets it up for McKenna. Got the bad bounce. Coming out hard was Hitley. Playing against his old club. Playing game number 50. Hall centres the ball to Young. Needs a good bounce. 35 metres out. Matthew Young has missed. A sitter. First minor score to the Saints.
Scoreboard is bare for the West Coast Eagles. 19 points the margin. McIntosh, his dad was a star with these Saints. John played only 51 games. The knee injury ended his career, but not before he'd finished 5th and 2nd in the Brownlow. Big leap, knocked forward by Lowe, roving the pack Cousins. Wirapunda, right half back, chips it up towards the wing, and Braun takes it, and he's away. Braun on the wing, kicking down towards half forward. Matera, that's Peter. About 65 metres out. Cummings feigns a lead. Philip Matera comes. Great understanding. Developed over years in the backyard. Philip's got it in the right back pocket. Centering kick, nicely done. Bellotti a long way up the ground. It was knocked away. Harvey, sensing the danger, did well to get back, but not a bad effort from Philip Matera.
Yeah, smart play. It was Bellotti who pushed forward. He ran off his opponent in Stewie Lowe, who could possibly be used on the way out of defence.
Yep.
Well, just about the most improved player in the game, Philip Matera. As we see, Stewie Lowe takes a big grab in front of Jones. 13 goals last year in 14 games, and this year Philip Matera's already booted 15. Stewie Lowe looking for Barry Hall, thumped away by Jakovic. They need a crummer. Zilla leaves it for his teammate in Brown. Back to Francis. They set it up. Ryan stands and delivers. Hitley out in front, bundled over the line by McIntosh. Was in great form.
Was that out of bounds on the full? It was very close.
No, I don't think so, Dennis, but a great contest by McIntosh. Did everything to spoil them.
Let's have a look. I think the ball was just over the line. Spot on there, Aussie. So we see Braun and Francis. Francis reads it well. He's resurrected his career to centre half forward. Hall stands his ground against Jakovic. Mitchell with those quick hands to Everett. Spider. Can he kick it off the ground? Through the legs. Magnificent back to Spider. Pushed over. Good play by McKenna. The old hands work hard. Looked like for mine that Jakovic was held. No free kick. Under pressure. Back to Young. Can he redeem himself? Great smother off the boot. 25 metres out from the Saints goal. Metropolis Wirapunda caught. Great tackle by Thompson. No free kick. Mitchell on hands and knees. They got it, lose it. Back to Hitley. Francis under pressure. Handballs it through for a minor score. Great defensive play by the West Coast Eagles. Just no easy kicks there at all for St Kilda. And let's have a look here. That's Wirapunda caught by Thompson. They deemed that no prior opportunity. Is a chance for Djakovic. Over the top. Hanging on to Brown. Finally, the whistle goes. St Kilda fans are happy.
Brown 55 metres out, little centering kick. McLaren slipping into open space. Goes looking for Hall, and Hall is marked directly in front. He'll kick from right on the 50.
Yeah, their forward pressure is certainly worrying the West Coast Eagles defence at this stage. They just haven't got any rhythm in bringing the ball out of that part of the ground. Wirapunda McKenna, if you know, as their playmakers back there, they just haven't had the space to come out freely at this stage. The forward pressure from St Kilda's key forwards has been exemplary.
Matthew Carr on the ground. Elliott is off. Carr formerly released from Adel. There goes the kick from Hall, and he's tugged it way to the left behind. (21-1). Quite a cool day. The breeze going to that end of the ground. McIntosh. Metropolis. Up from the back pocket. Daniel Metropolis started his league career in a blaze of glory against the Saints, but had 6 goals on debut at Subiaco Oval. He drives it towards the outer side. Good mark is taken by Hutchton, involved in a heavy collision last week with Hume in the Friday night game. Good to see him okay and back and playing well. McLaren under the pump. High floated towards half forward. Morrison got there in time, knocked it across the boundary line.
Saints by 20 points. Ozzy, what do you think the win's worth today?
I'd say, as I said before, Kev, probably 3 or 4 goals, and that's the way the Saints are heading at this stage.
Stewie Lowe against Bellotti. Banfield had it and lost it, taken by Young, all tied up. They'll ball it up between the half-forward line and centre wing.
The Saints have got Jason Trionides on the bench as well, a noted goal kicker, so it might be a good idea to get him on pretty quick as well.
So ball up on the half-forward line. Stewie Lowe to Zilla. Gets around Cousins. Pumps the ball back. Looking for Spider. Great grab by Ball. Got a big forward line with Spider down there, Jason Hitley, and also Barry Hall. Hard to match up on. Banfield in front of Thompson. He's been a great player for the West Coast Eagles. Won their best and fairest. #1 draft choice. He's been a great success. That's a poor kick. Lands in the arm of Stewie Lowe, who averages 10 marks a game. There's the lead from Hall. So Lowe ignores that, then pops it up in the air. He's looking for Hitley. He's got 2 to beat. Difficult assignment. Cousins has won a lot of the ball in the first quarter as well. Back to Brown, under pressure. Good tackling that time by Cousins. Thompson, great pickup. The whistle's gone. The free kick is coming back. It's going to St Kilda and goes to Tony Brown. Cousins has had 7 possessions in this opening quarter to the square. Big pack of players. Everett got his hands on the ball. Kick it off the ground. Couldn't quite get there. It was Barry Hall and forced through for a behind.
Interesting to see how long Michael Malthouse persists with Glenn Djakovic. It's been Barry Hall who's been the nemesis for the West Coast Eagles defence. He's looked very vibrant. He's attacked the ball, tried to give options all the time when the ball's coming through his area. Maybe McIntosh might be the one to go to Hall, and a smaller type medium sizer to pick up Jason Hitley.
Short one. Wirapunda in the back pocket. Drew Banfield doing a very good job on Robert Harvey to the moment. 5 possessions for Banfield, 3 for Harvey. Wirapunda, uncharacteristically a poor kick. Bellotti juggling the ball. Francis tried to hack it out of mid-air. This is Reid coming away. He's forward of half-back, Philip Reid. Not a particularly good kick. Bounces obligingly for White. Banfield is cruising past. That's ignored. He kicks inside the 50. Burke left it behind. Philip Matera camped over it. How will they call that? Holding the ball. Well, it was always going to be interesting. The umpire says he was in possession.
That is an interesting decision, isn't it, Dennis? Like, he had the ball, and he tried to probably gain possession, but I'd have to agree with umpire on that occasion. Certainly deemed holding the ball.
Well, they've certainly prioritised the Matera brothers. Ryan's picking up Peter Matera. Nathan Burke on Phil. Mitchell trapped it well. Great hand. Centre wing. Goes short. Barry Hall. He's been very good in this opening quarter. Bellotti tackled by Mitchell when he didn't have it. Again, Barry Hall comes away. Great smother by Kemp, playing game number 200. Hitley couldn't quite get the hand pass away. Bellotti, the tackler, all tied up on 50 for St Kilda. Reid tumbles the ball forward. Braun caught high, must get the free kick. 22 players, one behind. Saints by 21 points. Well, we can see there twice he was tackled high. Coming off a big game against the Western Bulldogs. Braun has been one of their major midfield stars, the youngster from Echuca. Inside the centre square, big fist away that time by Hutchton. Taken away by Hayes. Dakar, who rockets the ball back towards the half-forward line. There he is, Barry Hall, dominating across the half-forward line for St Kilda. He's kicked 1-2, it's been unstoppable. Poor kick, chipping in as Wirrapunda.
And they have made a change, the West Coast Eagles. Laurie Bellotti's now playing on Barry Hall. Glenn Jakovich has gone to Stewie Lowe. It's an halfback.
The ball bounces out of bounds across halfback. Tim Watson, who was drafted by the West Coast Eagles back in 1992. Little known fact. Didn't make the trip. Jakovich. Braun under pressure. Trianides has got him. Is that a one-handed hand pass? It looked remarkably like one. We've got a whistle and a ball up in any case. Jason Trianides just on the ground in place of Gavin Mitchell. He's booted a goal late in the opening term. The Saints getting value for the breeze. Muzzy says about 3 to 4, and a free kick is going to the Saints here.
Trianides.
Yep, Trianides will take a kick from right on the 50. Everett comes off. Elliott comes on. Had an impact immediately. Started very well. Important kick, this one. The margin is 21 points. Started out to the right and let the breeze help it back. Trianides doing exactly that. Curling it around the post. Beautiful kick. Goal.
Yeah, that is a beautiful kick for goal. As we know, Jason Trianides certainly kicked the ball with a fair amount of penetration, but more importantly, accurately. Just an ordinary tackle there by Philip Reid. Should have went at the hips when Trianides gained possession. Certainly wasn't the right technique in his approach, but as you called it, Dennis, right to left, it's exactly what Jason Trianides attempted to do. He did it successfully, and the Saints are certainly well on top of the West Coast Eagles.
First goal to Jason Trianides. He was a star with North Melbourne Reserves when they won the premiership. North Melbourne were keen to draft him, but St Kilda got in first, and he looks like he's just starting to find his feet under Tim Watson. Young. It's been one of those great pickups from Hawthorn. Most reliable now for St Kilda. Reid from the centre square goes out wide, looking for Zilla. He was looking for Cousins. He's got Zilla as his shadow today. Carr. It's a wild kick back towards centre wing, and Reid with the flight of the ball. Talented, very courageous.
Braun's on.
Reid.
Forever.
Still just a teenager. And there's Braun, crunched to the ground by Thompson. 4-4-28 the Saints. Just the one behind to West Coast. Richard Osborne tells us it's a 4-goal breeze. Jakovich tries to drill it. Too much carry on the ball for Peter Matera. Stewie Lowe playing a dual roll. Across the half-forward line and back in defence. Went very short to Robert Harvey. He's had Banfield to beat. Draws Mitchell White. So Stewie Lowe decides to go for a bit of a casual run at Waverley Park. Kicks the ball wide, and there he is. Barry Hall's taking his 4th mark. Just been too mobile for him across the half-forward line to the running Young, who belts the ball inside 50. Heatley's in front. He's got it. Not paid. McIntosh was there. McLaren, quick kick to the square. It's off target. Out on the full.
It was interesting seeing Stewie Lowe on that occasion. He really pushed back. He allowed Jakovich to play loose across half forward and be used. There's the inside 50 stats, 15-5. Just goes to show the dominance of the St Kilda team. Stewie Lowe very disciplined in his starting points, naturally being pushed back to block the hole for Cummings and White to lead into.
McKenna comes to Banfield, causing Harvey to work. Good policy. Banfield has been very good. From half back, sends play high towards the wing. Zilla and Cousins. Clever mark by Ben Cousins, checking off the ball and going late. There's White offering a lead. It goes in that direction. Was it touched in front? No. White claims the mark, plays on, kicks inside the 50. Cummings is in front down there. Hit him in the face. Kemp, his first possession, effective. Philip Matera snaps, and that's a good effort. Just missed. The margin is 26 points.
Justin Peckett to bring the ball back for the Saints. Dean Kemp playing his tournament game today. Just 4 players for the West Coast Eagles to reach the tournament game milestone. Worsfold, Lewis, McKenna and Kemp. All great names for the West Coast Eagles. There's Peter Matera. Just taking the ball back over the line. Yet to kick a goal this year, Peter Matera. His brother has kicked 15. There he is on screen, being picked up by Damien Ryan. There's a noted stopper, so kicks and possessions won't be easy today for Peter Matera. Elliott's come off the interchange bench to do the ruck work for the Saints. Harvey, possession number 5. Puts the ball over the line. They'll toss it back in, 28 plays 2. So a good start by the Saints on their last 3 encounters against the West Coast Eagles. But yet to beat a side that's in the top 8 at the moment. Big test today. First against 8th. Ball and Elliott. He's found a spot in the ruck whenever it was out, suspended. Again, the whistle has gone, and this time a free kick will go to the West Coast Metropolis. 6 goals in his first game. He's just kicked 32 in his career. So he started with a bang, but has found his spot in defence. From the half-back line, kicks a high ball. Ball was the flyer. Kemp stayed down. Clever play. Cummings has got 2 to beat. Takes the front position. Here's the danger man, Philip Matera, 35 metres out. I reckon he's got it.
Great work, Cummings.
Yeah, you called it, Dennis. Terrific work there by Scotty Cummings. He was initially behind that marking contest, and he worked his way to the front position. Got the ball to ground level, as we see here, the build-up. Terrific roving there by Kemp. Only his second touch for the day. Cummings worked his way to the front. Good Shepherd just got in that spot between Matera and Burke. Allowed a bit of space there for Matera just to balance up, assess his options on the way through. He kicked the first, a much-needed one for the West Coast Eagles.
Handy goal, margin back to 20 points. So right about the value of the breeze, according to Aussie. Ball out of the middle, kicks it down towards 50. Hudson has to wait. Showed some courage after an initial fumble. Still on his knees, heard a voice. Elliott's. Kemp trying to hack it. Coming through his Cousins, took a while, slung by Young. Grabbed in there by Peter Matera. Hurriedly, straight up in the air. It wanders down towards the 50. Valiant attempt there from Ryan. Confronted was Harvey. It spills to Jones. Charging through was Burke. In goes Reid on the siren. Quarter time at Waverley Park. Entertaining opening to this game. Robert Harvey, 5 possessions. We spoke of his wonderful record against the West Coast Eagles. And Tim Watson, I think, would be reasonably happy with his start. Probably their dominance not quite translated on the board. They do have a handy lead, but they had the breeze. They had plenty of the ball. Quarter time. There's Michael Malthouse. 4-4 to 1-2. Start of the second term. Eagles running on the breeze. Can they work back into this? Peter Matera starting in the centre square. Everett back on the ground. Decisively. Awkward bounce for Morrison. Slicked by Harvey to Young. This is Francis working towards the wing and kicking down towards half forward. Haul the target again. Hitley from behind. It spills across the boundary line. The meat and the sandwich there, Bellotti. Bellotti sandwich. And we'll have a boundary throw in just outside the 50. 28 to 8. Lowe and Jakovic. Embley. Came on late in the opening term. Djakovic hooks it down, missed by Harvey. Banfield rode out of it by Francis. Francis hand passes towards the pocket. Djakovic to his own advantage, keeps it in. Nicely done. Assisted by McKenna. The kick though from Djakovic not particularly good. Right on the boundary line. Peter Matera takes the mark. It was a great kick as it turns out.
Dennis, that was right near me. I'd suggest that was on the full.
Okay. Short one up towards the wing. Don't tell anyone else. Harvey comes away. Back inside the 50. Punched away from Thompson. Taken by Djakovic. Djakovic goes across the ground this time. Intelligent kick too. Reed has it inside the centre square.
And the teenager comes away and kicks the ball wide. Finds Mitchell White. Mobile and versatile. Cummings is the target. Wakeland got into his back. Cummings at ground level. Squeezed up on the boundary line by Nathan Burke. And he's been pinged. No attempt, says the umpire.
Scotty Cummings is actually saying that he was already out of bounds when the tackle was laid. Here it is, the setup. He certainly was inside the field of play there. Made no attempt whatsoever to get rid of the ball. Good decision by the umpire.
And to use that terminology, prior opportunity, he didn't have much of that as well. So St Kilda with a 20-point lead. Hutchton from the back pocket. A transfer of play. Burke drops a sitter. Enough time to recover, then tries to drill it down, looking for Hitley. Does well in front of McIntosh. Long, long way from goal. Playing at full forward. He's virtually on the half-back flank. Barry Hall. Been so good, Wirrapunda. Got a fist of the ball. Metropolis bundled over the line. Boundary throw in. McLaren. And let's go down and see who's on the interchange bench for the Eagles.
We've got Rintoul, Williams, Gardner and Embley, who has just been replaced by Michael Braun.
Stewie Lowe to do the ruck work with Djakovic. Wins it. Hard to tackle is Harvey. Braun does well. They pay advantage. Banfield pumps the ball back, looking for Mitchell White. A lot of carry on the ball. Hutchton gets support. Wakeland. They share the ball around Azilla. Goes very, very short and finds Ryan.
Ryan, right half back. Inside leading by 20 points towards the middle. Nice distribution. Wakeland to Zilla. Zilla kicking down towards half forward. Djakovic arrives, gathers the bouncing ball, gets it away to Metropolis. Metropolis, a looping hand pass. Reed back to Metropolis. Goes again to Djakovic. Djakovic on the 50 with some time this time. A nest of Saints though. And Zilla's got it. Zilla plays on Harvey. Getting around behind. Robert Harvey inside the centre square. Gets it with a nice kick to Hitley. It was a touch ball. He plays on forward of the centre square. A goal would be nice for the Saints here, and they've got a chance. Harvey initiating that passage across half back. It could finish with a goal to Barry Hall.
Yeah, terrific build up there by the St Kilda team. Zilla was instrumental in first of all getting the ball out of their defensive part of the ground, but then pushed back to sort of sit in between the ball coming through to Mitchell White. He took a well-judged mark. Gave the ball very quickly to the run of Harvey, who in turn gave it to Hitley. And that's just terrific transitional play by the St Kilda team.
Huge kick, this one. It would be a great tonic for the Saints to get a goal into the breeze to start the second term. So Barry Hall going at his second to push the margin out to 26 points. If it's straight. Hardly that.
Dennis, just as he was running in, he was kept wiping his hands on his jumper, so I'd suggest he's got a bit of grip on it, and it was just worrying him as he was running in.
Thanks, Oz.
Just off the ball, a little bit happening between Peter Matera and also Hitley. Boys have worked it out.
Still, it was a bad miss by Barry Hall. He's been at 1-3. It's been so good. 7 possessions and 5 marks. Just hasn't quite got his kicking boot on. Peter Matera from the back pocket. Drills at the ball. Braun was looking for the handball. Goes short and wide to Metropolis from the half-back line. Kicks the ball up, a one-on-one contest. Hutchton works his way to the front. Everett, big spider, caught by Mitchell White, threw the ball in the air.
Oh.
Not paid. And now the whistle is gone. The free kick will come back to Mitchell White. There's the throw. So it has been picked up. Mitchell White to the half-forward line. Matera out in front. Marks in front of Nathan Burke. Too far out to score.
KB, I think there's an example there of Peter Everett missing the last 4 weeks, just to being adjusted to the tempo of modern day's football.
Looks a little bit rusty at the moment. Ball stands his ground. Plenty of hands on it. Harvey, the running machine, just starting to pick up possessions. That's possession number 8. Sets it up to Hutchton. Harvey will just keep on running. McKenna's been magnificent. Thompson hasn't had a kick playing on McKenna. Matera, a bit of magic from the half-back line. Drills it. Great kick. Finds Cousins.
That is a magnificent kick.
Well, he's in great form. One of the favourites to win the Brownlow medal. Scotty Cummings was pushing and shoving. Wakelin went to ground. Pickett takes the mark. On the rebound, Zilla, who's got the job on Cousins. So far has had 10 possessions. Zilla pumps the ball wide. Matera, beautiful mark. Outstretched arms and has taken a fingertip.
Yeah, Matera started the game across half forward. He's obviously pushed up to the midfield part of the ground, whether it be centre wing or half back, trying to create some more run from that part of the ground.
I think that'll suit him, Mick, because just playing as a half forward flanker, Mitchell wide, a fine mark in front of Hutchton, because Ryan is a stopper. This gives him a bit more space. So a chance for the Eagles. Cummings caught from behind. They'll pay the man in front in Wakelin, Scotty Cummings.
Cummings certainly has been very good up to this stage of the season, but today he's just been reluctant to lead. Whether it's due to Peter Everett pushing back and the space directly in front of goal just hasn't been there today. But Wakelin certainly has done a terrific defensive job on him at this stage.
Well, he's kicked 27 goals for the season. Scotty Cummings, Hutchton, one of the key defenders for the Saints. That's a poor kick. Lucks a fortune back to Mitchell. Spent some time on the bench to Nathan Burke. So the skipper just belts the ball wide. There's a very good mark. Coming across and taking it was Ryan, the ex-Tiger. So a chance here for the Eagles on the rebound. Ball from inside the centre square goes short and finds Scotty Cummings.
Directly in front with a chance to score. Interesting situation. The Eagles down by 21 points, but a lot of their key players are getting touches. So they're well and truly in this game. Scott Cummings. If he kicks truly, the margin will be back to 15 points.
He won't have problems with the distance, Dennis, that's for sure.
27 goals on the season. Kicks from 52, straight as a gun barrel. His first.
And as he kicked that goal, he's just been summoned to the interchange bench. Obviously, they're trying to restructure their forward 50. It's interesting to see young Williams coming on the ground. There's no doubt they'll probably try to isolate a player out of the goal square or maybe organise a mismatch. Mitchell White will probably go back to that part of the ground and play with a smaller half-forward line, trying to run the ball through that part of the ground. Here's Cummings, easy mark, good shot on goal.
Scotty Cummings off the ground. They did this last week as well. They took him on and off the field. He did come back on and kick a couple of goals, but the move has been made. Wirapunda was great with that smother. He set it up to Scotty Cummings. Here's Harvey winning the ball, goes short to McLaren. Barry Hall. It's been unstoppable. He's inspired Hall across the half-forward line for St Kilda. Just hasn't had his kicking boot on today. He's booted 1-3. There's Hitley and McIntosh. Some pushing and shoving. That lead's been ignored. Now, he'll be kicking from just about right on 50. He's facing the breeze, but he is a thumping kick. Hall from 50. This is a great kick. Distance is there. Not the accuracy. And through for a behind.
And KB, would it be wise to maybe change McIntosh onto Barry Hall and put maybe Bellotti or a Metropolis to a Hitley, a medium sizer?
Well, they've already tried Jakovic and now Bellotti. I suppose the next cab off the rank could be McIntosh, but he's so good at full-back, and Heatley's a dangerous player as well.
How's that kick? Almost to the centre of Waverley Park. A spiral from McIntosh on the breeze. Peck at the crumb. Hand passes away to Ryan on the burst. He boots it through the centre square. Low down. The attempt from Hall failed. Thompson back to Hall. Hand passes across to support. Hurriedly Ryan inside the 50. Up was Everett off his fingertips. He gathers the ball. Hand passes to Lowe, who goes hurriedly with the left foot. Wirapunda leads back in the race in the opposite pocket. A chance around the outer side for the Eagles, but he fumbled. Slaps to the voice supplied by Banfield, and Banfield can't keep it in. And that's not a bad result. Who's on the bench? Aussie for the Saints.
Hayes, Elliott, Trianides and Walton.
Boundary throw in just inside the attacking 50 for St Kilda. Lowe and Jakovic. Lowe directs it down. He's doing very well in those situations, and reaping the benefit is Harvey. He got it across to Brown. Brown hurriedly floats it around the boundary. Fisted away by Ball. Braun put the body in. Wirrapunda nicely done. Banfield back to Wirrapunda, but not having read the script, Mitchell got right in there. The hurried kick from Zilla floats towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds on the full.
And Dennis, the Eagles have made a change. Jason Ball is just about to take this penalty free kick, has pushed back to the fullback position, picking up Barry Hall. Gardner's come off the interchange bench to play on the ruck. Belotti's off the ground.
And you mentioned before the game, Dennis, that Robert Harvey has got 8 Brownlow medal votes in the last 3 games against the West Coast Eagles, just starting to win a lot of the ball. Be interesting to see as the game progresses whether Banfield can hold him or beats Cousins over the line. 30 plays 14. Timmy Watson.
This is a hard ground to hold runners on, is it not?
Well, Cousins also has been a dominating player so far. He's had 10 possessions as well. So Stewie Lowe, the 2 big men go at it. Jakovic, a test of strength, does well. Has the kick half smothered. McKenna, rarely beaten, comes away from the half back line, pumps the ball high. Running with the flight of the ball is Ryan. He's doing a good job. Started his career with the Tigers, picked up this year by the Saints. McLaren, a big improver also, kicks wide. Hitley just couldn't make enough ground. McIntosh got a hand to it. Brown to Hitley, forced over the line.
Mick, another option for the West Coast Eagles, even though he's at this stage playing at centre half forward, is Mitchell White to go on Barry Hall. He's played at either end of the ground with quite a great deal of success over the years.
McIntosh again. This time it's Lowe who wins the test of strength. Cousins, those beautiful hands, sets it up to Gardner from centre half back through the centre square. Mitchell White hits the ball hard. The running Kemp, game number 200. A bit of magic. He's going to drill this. Great set up a play, and it's been marked by Bellotti. Well, there's a move, Mick. Bellotti to the forward line.
Bellotti just gone to full forward. But that was terrific set up there by Mitchell White. As Ozzy intimated, he could be using both ends of the ground. But I think at this stage of the game, he's certainly the preferred option from West Coast Eagles' point of view would be across half forward. He certainly is running Hutchinson around.
Going for his first goal in AFL football, and he's nailed it.
And that's the way you play Waverley Park, especially when you've got the ascendancy of maybe a 3 to 4 goal win, just to get the ball directly in the centre corridor and go straight at the goals. We see the left-handed handball by Kemp, who ran to his non-dominant side, but as we know, Dean Kemp is such a polished performer. He had time to get back onto his right side, assess the options on the way through, found Bellotti unopposed, who kicked truly for goal.
Well, if you're scoring the fight at home, it's just under 10 minutes till half-time. The margin is 10 points, so I think you've got to have the West Coast Eagles marginally ahead using the breeze now. They've been steady, they've been patient, they've been defending rather desperately to open this term, but they're getting goals when they've gone forward. Everett, the second attempt, does well, slips away. Big Spider taking plenty of time. Got the kick off nicely. Young still inside the centre square, confronted out there by Morrison, gets the kick away. Brown about 60 metres from goal, hooks it around the corner. In front is Mitchell. Wirrapunda reaches over the top, gets it across the boundary line.
Yeah, very good discipline by Wirrapunda. Could have easily got into the back of his opponent in Mitchell, but kept the hands free, used his left hand to spoil the ball across the boundary line. Good defensive tactic.
It's a long field when you initiate your attacks from down here, but that's what the Eagles have been doing. Cousins to Braun, close to the boundary line, kicks around the outer side, worked under at Jones. Leading back in the race out there is Carr. He picks it up about 5 metres in from the line, looks to the middle, finds Francis. He's dropped the mark. Now they've got a problem. Hutchton slips away, but they're being forced to concede some ground. Hutchton kept his head, comes across and finds Ryan. Ryan in the true centre half back position, tries it again, goes out wide. This is Young. He can take it and go. Kicks down towards half forward. Zilla. Cousins closing. Brilliant closing speed too. Got there. He conceded about 5 metres when they started. As the ball arrived, he was alongside and he punched it out of bounds. 30 plays 20.
Sorry, Dennis. And one other player that'll certainly have to lift is Chad Morrison, playing on centre wing, picking up Young. Young starting to get a fair amount of the ball, and as we know, he can use the ball fairly effectively. He'll have to tighten up in that role.
Francis to Harvey. They pump the ball inside 50. Wirrapunda wants a free. He'll get it. He just might be the most exciting young player in the game by the time this season is out. Wirapunda, lightning quick. He's having a great season. It's good to see. Great raps on him as a youngster. Went across to Western Australia as a 16-year-old. Here's Hitley playing his 50th game. He started with the Eagles. Spider's got it. He was being held on to. Dropped the mark. He'll get the free kick.
And that's what Peter Everett is certainly good at, being that extra tall, floating forward, knowing when to push forward to become a target on the way through. All of a sudden, young Gardner, very inexperienced in terms of playing as a tall defender. Good coaching there by Tim Watson. Good initiative there by Everett, knowing when to push forward and provide a marking target in their part of the ground.
Well, he's been a goal-kicking ruckman. Peter Everett from directly in front hits the post. And a scratch of the head and a smile. McIntosh to bring the ball back into play. Just been a little bit rusty today, Peter Everett. Which is fair enough. Hasn't played for 4 weeks. That touch is not quite just there at the moment. They kick the ball wide. Banfield may have been interfered with by Everett to Cousins. Too quick. Gets around Everett. Just belts the ball back towards the half-forward line. Philip Matera. Dangerous to Mitchell White. Caught. Couldn't find a target. McLaren does well. Some fancy footwork. Dances out of trouble. Spears it to Young. Picks up a lot of the ball playing across half-back. Barry Hall this time. Forced under the ball by Ball. Needs a bounce. Couldn't get it. Bang. Barry Hall keen to use a little bit of weight. The ball's squeezed up on the boundary line. Taken over by McLaren.
Yeah, and that was poor play there by Chad Morrison. He peeled off that contest far too early, hoping the ball, a player of 6'5", could get down to the ground level ball and pick it up. He was there just waiting to be used on the way through. You've got to get over and provide numbers at the contest.
Braun in front, working hard. So too Thompson. The ball jarred across the boundary line. It will be thrown in. Michael Braun, number 10, made his debut against St Kilda, round 11, 1997. That was at Subi, a game the Eagles lost by 4 points. There's Jankovic. He'll battle with Everett. Everett into space behind. Favours McLaren. Taken front on by Morrison just as well. It comes towards Williams. Banfield over it. Can't pick it up. Morrison still on the ground. Reaches in. They tie it up. And these set plays, boundary throw-ins, bounces, even the centre bounces, hurting the Eagles at the moment. St Kilda almost invariably getting first touch. And Everett could make something here. Everett and Jankovic. Everett with the ruck now. So again he wins it down. Ooh, Harvey almost onto the bouncing ball. They're flirting with danger, the Eagles. Banfield booted it out. Zilla left it behind. Gardner knocks it across to Williams. Going back is Cousins. Cousins close to the boundary line. Faines going inboard and then he kicks it down towards half forward. Timely Fist got it away from Burke in front though low. Gets the hand pass to Francis. Sweeping hand pass to the run of Hayes. Hayes the hand pass. A little indecisive. McLaren comes back to Hayes. Taken front on by Williams. Concedes some ground. Goes back to Harvey. Harvey hurriedly floats it down towards half forward and Young in the opposite direction. Morrison onto the loose ball is Peckett. That was an interesting hand pass. Play allowed to go on. Thompson kicks wide of the mark. Going back is Jankovic. Mark to stand. I'd like to see that hand pass again.
He's been good, Jankovic. 12 possessions and 3 marks. Kicks the ball wide. Looking for Reid. Interfered with. Will take the free kick.
In actual fact, that was pretty good play there by Mitchell, because if Reid had got that ball uncontested, player further afield was Gardner, who ran really hard off his opponent in low. The Eagles would have been certainly away. Here's this one Dennis was talking about. Certainly a throw, but the umpire was on the blind side to make a decision.
Reid from the back half. Kicks the ball wide, sets it up here for Lowe. Just too tall, too big and too strong. Now the free kick is going to his teammate in Hudson. It's been a great success story since being picked up, playing up there in Queensland. 4th in the best and fairest last year. Spider Everett is the target. Playing in front was Hall. He's got the free kick. Been a star, Barry Hall. 6 marks. He's kicked the goal. He's been off target. Kicked 3 behinds as well. This time the ball just runs over the line for a boundary throw-in.
KB, there's no doubt he hurt his right ankle landing from that ground. There we see him on screen, certainly hobbling. He went for his right angle as soon as he landed just there. Oh, I got stood on by a ball like this, so that's what it'll be.
Chance for the Saints just 25 metres around from goal. Matera playing in front of McLaren, heads towards the line. Beats Hayes over. 31 plays 20. There's the youngster, Lenny Hayes from the ACT. And St Kilda inside 50. You can see 28 times to 14. So the West Coast Eagles just trailed by 11 points. Saints into attack. Harvey had it and lost it. McKenna has been magnificent. Thompson has just had the one kick. He played for Victoria last year, sets it up to Wirrapunda. Now we see some dash. Wirrapunda on the burst, kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. Mitchell White got a hand to it. Clever play by Matera, goes to ground. Hutchton went in hard. Mitchell White recovers. Fresh air shot. Young under pressure, gives it across to Peckett. So the Saints defence working hard. Under pressure again. Peckett gets the ball back to Carr, who stands and delivers back towards centre half forward. And there he is, the great man himself, McKenna.
McKenna to Matera, that's Peter, down towards half foot, beautifully weighted kick. Cleared the players in front, Williams was lurking behind. Now he could score from here. If anything, that breeze has dropped in the last 10 minutes or so, but from 55 metres we'll get a gauge. It's long, and about 2 metres out Rintoul got hands to it, couldn't hang on. So the margin is back to 10 points, and really that does flatter the West Coast Eagles. As Spider comes off the ground, Elliott back on. Everett very influential on his return. Ryan the short pass. Goes back to Mitchell. Mitchell up from the back pocket, barking the instructions as he runs. Finds Elliott just on the ground. And the Saints, well, they're happy they're in front of an undefeated team, but they've had so many opportunities. Double the number of times inside 50. Elliott pops it up towards the wing. Ball got a fist on it. Hacked out of mid-air by Reid. Luckily it comes across to Gardner. Gardner from 60 metres out goes long. Hutchton going back. White is closing. Hutchton must get a free. About 5 metres out. Nervous times. Elliott.
He did well in the Ansett Cup playing on Carey. He's had a turn in the ruck. He's coming off the interchange bench. Just changing with Peter Everett. So Tim Elliott and Francis with some run in those old legs. Finds Ryan, who's been very good in this first half, and that's a good kick, and finds Hitley. Back edge of the centre square. Ryan runs hard. Kicks the ball back towards the half forward line. Here's Hall out in front again. Just too big and strong. Great hands. Gives it across the car. Runs into the open goal. It's a floater. Through for a behind. So a wasted opportunity for the Saints. Great play out of defence.
Yeah, this is terrific quick hands. 1, 2, 3 steps. Left hand to Carr. Probably in turn he could have gave an easy handball over the top to Lenny Hayes. Hence he may have converted. But St Kilda, with all the opportunities going into their forward part of the ground, just had that inability to convert.
Jakovic was in doubt before the game, but has done well. Kicks long. Gardner's the target.
Oh.
Beach low, off and running. Matera again forced under the ball, kicked off the ground by Mitchell White. Matera gets into the back of Mitchell. There was no free kick. Zilla. Sloppy old kick out towards Harvey. It was clever play. Gets support. Got the ball back that time to Walton. Back to Thompson. Over the line. They'll toss it back in.
Walton and Embley getting involved. The Saints probably should have done better along this grandstand wing. They had the numbers. Approaching half-time, 2 1/4 minutes to go. Gardner. Can the Eagles get a late goal? Young off a step. He got the hand pass from Harvey up towards the wing. Peter Matera, does he keep it in? No, out of bounds. Forward of left centre wing.
Dennis, if the Saints can pinch a late goal, that's going to be crucial in such a low-scoring match. It'll be a very good lead to bring into half-time.
Yep. It's been a while. They've had plenty of opportunities, but haven't registered in this term. Gardner hand passing it forward. Mitchell White was over the ball. Embley on Thompson. I think Philip Matera either has a bad cork or a hamstring. He seems to be hobbling towards the interchange gates. Meantime, Mitchell White to Morrison. Open square. That late goal comes to the Eagles. Great goal.
Yeah, very important goal to the West Coast Eagles. Now only trailing by 5 points. with just on 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. We see here the loose ball. Good pressure there by Emily, who's now got the job on Robert Harvey in midfield. Banfield's gone to a half-back flank. But that's terrific follow-up work there by Mitchell White, who released the ball into the path of Morrison, who's now back across half-back, picking up McLaren. Good build-up, good goal.
Chad Morrison on screen has just kicked the late goal in this second term. (32 plays 27). A big job for young Embley, picking up Robert Harvey, just playing his 6th game against the dual Brownlow medalist. Peter Matera on the break, but the ball will come back and go to Gardner.
Gardner's done a couple of very good things in the last couple of minutes, hasn't he?
Well, he's an emerging ruckman, isn't he, Michael Gardner? One would see him as being a gun in a year or two. Unloads with both barrels is Jakovic, thumped away that time by Wakeland. Here's Young. Very handy player, Young. Really makes a mistake. Rintoul caught by Carr. Loose ball. Burke. Quick hands. St Kilda under pressure, can force the ball forward. Looking for Hall. Clever play by Hayes. Teenager from the ACT. The kick's a poor one. Here's Morrison. He's just kicked the goal. He's on a burst. He's got Gardner wide. Can the big man get there? He does on the edge of the centre square. Bellotti couldn't take it on the second grab. Forced over that time by Wakeland. And there's Philip Matera.
Yeah, KB, they're doing
Just
a little bit of work
doing
a bit of work on his right knee, so I think his right knee's the problem.
Big chance for the Eagles. A goal to put him in front. Stewie Lowe to do the ruck work against Gardner. Got a fist to the ball. Here's danger. Cousins weighs up his options, centres the ball. Gardner couldn't take it on the second grab. Back to Embley. Quick snap. And through for a behind.
Yeah, good play there by Gardner. He probably should have took the mark, fumbled, but just in the tackle, he got his hands free. A very important skill in the modern game.
30 seconds to go to half-time. Harvey gets the ball to Young. Young goes out very wide looking for Wakeland. At full stretch, he marks just inside the boundary. 32-28. 21 seconds to go to half-time. Mitchell on the wing. Down towards half-forward. Chance for the Saints. Walton reaches over the top. It was a touch ball. He's dragged down by McKenna. No, the mark to stand. Well, that's interesting. Walton punches the ball into the breeze, and guess who?
Dennis, young Walton's mark, I think that's a classic example of just keeping your eyes on the ball at all times.
Fitting, I guess, that Barry Hall's got the footy after the halftime siren has sounded. He's been the dominant player in this one. He and Robert Harvey. Harvey 18 possessions to half-time. Really picked it up in the second term. But Hall really has been the focal point. And had he kicked straight, well, he could have had 4 or 5 to here.
Interesting dinner scene. Jason Hitley. He ran straight towards Barry Hall to give him an indication of what area to kick the ball in.
If it's a goal, the margin will be 10 points. Hall. Good-looking kick. That will make them buoyant at the half. The supporters love it. A man for the occasion, Barry Hall, steering it through from long range into the breeze. A real tonic for the Saints. We said several times during the course of that second term they weren't getting value for effort. Still haven't, but at least they're up by 10 points. Hall gets his second goal, and at half-time, St Kilda are 5-8. The West Coast Eagles are 4-4. Back at Waverley right after this. The West Coast Eagles looking to keep their unbeaten record intact. Michael Gardner, some important minutes late in the second term. Peter Everett, we've discussed him. Great to see him back and playing footy. A real talent. He has to wait, wins it though, lays it down into the path of Thompson, comes back to Banfield, smothered off the boot by Francis. Everett at close quarters, missed the target. Cousins keeping it in front. It comes back to Thompson though. Thompson, hurried kick, a high one. Jakovic, was it a push in the back against Lowe? Yes. Lowe will get the free. He's about 60 metres out. Big Stewie with the breeze behind him will put this one long towards the square. McKenna is going back for a punter. It bounced. No one touched it. It hit the post. Not bad thinking. The defence had pushed up and Stuart Lowe unloaded. 5-9 plays 4-4. McIntosh to bring it in. Finds Djakovic. He's at half back. Reid is breaking for him. Something good could occur here for the West Coast Eagles. Reid has it on the wing. Shows too much of the ball to the defence initially, but White made it look okay. Just prop, took the mark, pulls it back towards the pocket. Cummings back on the ground, takes it in the pocket, breaks away, check side, no, clever. Across the goal face, Philip Matera has marked 20 metres out. Well weighed up by Scott Cummings.
Yeah, magnificent composure there by Cummings. Good awareness also there by Mitchell White, who gave the advantage of the ball kicking into the path of Cummings. But that's very unselfish, team-orientated football. And just the start the West Coast Eagles would want if Matera can convert this goal.
Matera hobbled off midway through the second term. He seems to be okay. 20 metres out, going at his second goal. He's got up. This game is alive.
Yeah, just the start the West Coast Eagles wanted. Philip Matera has been an interesting player. The match up there across that part of the ground has been Nathan Burke. Both had 6 or 7 possessions each, but here's Cummings. Just terrific strength over the ball. As we know, he can turn quickly for a big man. He could have easily gone into the goals and took a bounce and got himself close to the goal range. Instead of doing that, he did the team-orientated thing and kicked the ball into the path of Matera. Good play.
Let's go down and find who's on the bench for the Eagles, Aussie.
Jones, Embley, Rintoul and Bellotti.
2 goals to Philip Matera. He's kicked 17 for the year. He's the only Eagles goal kicker right of screen. Harvey starting to pick up a lot of possessions, goes short and finds Walton. Very good last week, booted 3 goals for the Saints. Pumps the ball long. Hitley was down there, has the ball knocked away. Cousins, so good at ground level to Djakovic with strength. Comes away from the back pocket, goes wide, too wide. Puts it out on the full. 39 plays 34. St Kilda led by 20 points at quarter time, 10 points at half time, and big Stewie Lowe's got it.
Yeah, good play there by Stuart Lowe. He's the player that led into the vacant spot in front of him about 40 metres from goal. Led extremely hard, well-judged mark. 3 West Coast players went for the contest, but it was just big Stewie Lowe's presence, his hands, took a well-judged mark. And this is an important kick in the context of today's game.
Well, he's already hit the post at the start of this 3rd term. He's kicked 3 goals for the season, 505 career goals. Playing game number 262. The experience of Stewie Lowe stands and delivers and rams it home.
The important team lifting goal from Stewie Lowe's point of view. He certainly has started to work his way into the game. Already had 11 possessions, 5 marks. It's a pretty good kick there by Walton into the path of Stewie Lowe. Very tall in the air, jumped early, put his big frame in line of the ball coming through. More importantly, that's a terrific shot on goal. A much needed one for the Saints to keep them in this contest.
St Kilda by 11 points, 45 plays 34. Spider Everett, Gardner comes charging in, thumped forward by Spider up towards centre half forward. Coming out hard was McKenna, kicked it off the ground. He's been a star for the Eagles across half back. Reid knock on, no teammate to support. Zilla belts the ball back towards the half forward line. Wirapunda in front, Mitchell was the high flyer. Going through hard again was Djakovic, takes it over the line and a free kick will go to the great man. Was in doubt for today's game, but Djakovic coming through there, caught high. Did it come off the boot? Djakovic caught in 2 minds. To McIntosh, to Wirapunda. Sure hands and speed. Can't get around, great tackle. Fantastic tackle by Francis.
Too high though, KB.
Well,
his right arm just went across the left shoulder.
Love to see it again. Gee whiz. Maybe a bit lucky there for Wirapunda. Djakovic back to the young star. Generally uses the ball well, finds McIntosh. He's the only player so far really that hasn't played on Barry Hall, who's been the stumbling block. Carr around the corner to Mitchell. The Saints starting to move the ball quickly. Speak of the devil, here he is, Barry Hall. Leaves it for Zilla, 65 metres out. Kicks the ball in short. It's a great kick to Hitley, he's got it.
Yeah, terrific build-up by St Kilda. It was McIntosh who tried to run off Hitley. Hitley stayed back in his forward part of the ground. There was McKenna who tried to cover for his teammate who went further up the ground. But it was St Kilda in their work rate, just worked the ball forward. Eventually, one of their teammates got free. They were able to assess the option by foot and give Hitley the opportunity to take a contested mark, got a free kick, call it what you like. But Hitley in this part of the ground, you'd certainly believe that he'll kick truly.
Playing his 50th game today. Started his career with the West Coast Eagles. He's booted 15 goals for the season, directly in front. The breeze at the back. Brings up the two Calicos.
Yeah, St Kilda have certainly replied. Hitley getting this goal as we see Tony Francis come off the ground with the blood rule. Try and Udi's coming back on the ground. There was Hitley. Without a doubt, that was a mark. It was in front position. The ball was weighted to the advantage of Hitley to take that mark. But Hitley kicking his first of the day, a most important one.
So testing time for the West Coast Eagles here. Michael Malthouse looking over the shoulder of Ian Miller. Bounce back in the middle. 7-9, 5-4. Everett got it down. Williams intercepted though by Thompson. Thompson probing kick inside the 50. Wide of Hall and bounces across the boundary line.
One can sense both teams have really lifted in this third quarter, realising the importance of what a win's all about. You can just see when a little bit of pressure comes into the game, the inexperienced youngsters, instead of getting the ball forward by foot, they try to invent a handball which creates a turnover, and that was young Williams on that occasion.
Jankovic only as far as Harvey, camped over it to Thompson, hard against the line. Ambitious from there, out of bounds on the full. Well, last season 15 wins was enough for second place. If you start a season 7-0, it takes a lot of the pressure off in the run home. To finish, you would think in the top two, the West Coast Eagles would need only to split their games, win half of them. Tony Francis at the centre of all of that. So Braun's got it in the back pocket, into Mines, decides to go around the outer side. Matera could have been hanging on there, forced to spoil. Thompson getting busy. This is Hall just outside the 50, the short one to Hitley. And Hitley's marked. He'll kick from inside the 50. I'd suggest distance won't be a problem. It'll be a question of accuracy.
And here's the feature, Dennis, of Barry Hall's game today, I believe. Just his field kicking in the forward part of the ground for St Kilda. He hasn't kicked that accurately for goal, kicking 2 goals 3. But in general, his field kicking has been a delight to watch, giving the ball to his teammates' advantage when coming forward.
Jason Hitley played 3 games for the Eagles back in 95 and 96. His career high 9-1 came on this ground, and I think he's just missed. He has. That 9-1 came against North Melbourne, so quality opposition. Tim Watson watching his side get out to lead by 18 points.
Well, Barry Hall has certainly troubled the Eagles. They started with Jankovic on him, and then they went to Bellotti, and now Ball. Still he wins the ball. Out wide. Good strong mark taken by Williams. Victorian youngster from South Belgrave kicks the ball wide. McKenna really beaten today. Peter Matera has had a pretty tough afternoon playing on Damien Ryan. They keep coming forward, and Philip Matera was beaten that time by Nathan Burke. Just got his hand to the ball for a boundary throw in. Philip Matera has booted 2 goals. Dangerous player. He's been the only goal kicker for the Eagles right of screen. There's Tony Francis, a new jumper under the blood rule. Boundary throw in. The Eagles 55 metres out from goal. Peckett took the handball, smothered off the boot. Burke belts the ball back towards centre wing. Traianides, a great grab. Well, he kicked a terrific goal when he came off the bench also in the first quarter. Looking for Big Spider, those long arms. Can't go up. McKenna. Cool under pressure. What a great player he's been. Just one of 4 Eagles players that played 200 games. The target was Jankovic. And Stewie Lowe slaps it over the line.
Yeah, good defensive pressure there by Stewie Lowe. Just going to take this boundary throw in. Terrific advocate for keeping the eyes on the ball. That's what he did on that occasion.
Jankovic works in front. Trianides had it, then lost it. The battle in there. Trianides comes again, tied up by Dean Kemp, who's been very quiet this afternoon playing game number 200. Just the 3 possessions for the champ. Ball up on the outer side. I suppose in its way that's ominous for the Saints. 52-34. The Eagles could ill afford St Kilda getting the next goal. Braun close to the boundary line, knocked away by Ryan. Well done. Out of bounds. Damien Ryan doing a very good job.
He's very quick, Damien Ryan. When he was with Richmond, he did a lot of stopping roles with the Tigers. It was a bit of a surprise when they let him go.
Kemp surrounded. Peckett got him down. Banfield and Young battle after it, and the players sensing now just what the stakes are. This game very much in the balance. The Saints have got the breeze. They've started well in this third term. In the sunshine, umpire Norton to bounce it down. 52-34. Jankovic and Lowe won it. Banfield grabs it in the tackle, gets the kick away. It pitches inside the field of play. Williams does well to White. Williams was out of bounds, came back in, but the hand pass wide of the mark. I think White just a little confused as to where Williams was. Didn't want to release the ball because initially he knew he was across the line. Smile.
Dennis, the Saints just need to add a few quick ones, put a bit of scoreboard pressure on the Eagles at this point.
Peter Matera off, and coming on is Rowan Jones. Mitchell White caught high by Thompson.
Oh dear.
No free kick. And look at the grin on the face there of Mitchell White.
Yeah, certainly a free kick there. There's the initial tackle, straight across the head of Mitchell White. Without a doubt, should have been rewarded.
Ball up on the half-forward flank for the Eagles. Trianides. Slick handball to Hudson. Plenty of run out of defence. Inside 50. There's McKenna. It's been run down by Walton. It'll land in the arms of Big Spider. Right on 50. Tries to drill it. Morrison keeps the ball alive. Gets around Walton. Pumps the ball back out wide. Here's Ryan. Takes the ball over. So Tony Francis on screen. Peter Matera off. Rowan Jones on for the Eagles. And McKenna has been playing on Andrew Thompson, who averages so far this year 23 possessions. He's just had 7 today. Just gives you an indication of McKenna's role across half back. Thompson beaten by Wirapunda. Been one of the best players on the ground to Reid. Comes away from the half back line. Tries to drill it. Beats Metropolis over the line, and also Carr.
It's interesting watching now. Thompson's actually come back into the midfield. McKenna's across half back, KB, picking up young Walton. Dean Kemp also has pushed it in the midfield part of the ground, getting Peckett away from that comfortable half-back position.
Gardner gains about 15 metres. This is Carr over the ball. Metropolis over him, drags him down. And a whistle about 55 metres out from the Eagles' attacking goal.
Dennis.
Metropolis pleads his case. Yes, Ozzy?
Spider Everett just behind the play, just struggling to keep up at this point. So I'd say Tim would bring him off sooner rather than later, just to rest him for the last quarter fairly soon.
He's been off towards the end of both the previous quarters. Metropolis off the ground. This is Carr. Impressive last week against the Blues. That ball out of bounds, I thought, on the full.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. We need a Cyclops. That appeared to be on the full, but the boundary umpire was backing off at the time and was in a rather awkward situation, although he's very close. Oops.
Oh, I think I heard the beep, Dennis.
Yeah, caught a bit of the line. Trianides taken front on by Metropolis and ridden into the ground, so another ball up. Tough, uncompromising stuff at the moment. Both clubs realising just what's at stake here. The next goal could break it open for the Saints. Will make it difficult for them if the Eagles were to get it. Harvey stood up in the tackle. Hand passes towards the boundary line. And Cousins, well, he looked back towards the middle, then took it across, and I think sold the fact he forgot his compass. Boundary throw in.
16 possessions and 4 marks today to Ben Cousins. Robert Harvey, 21 possessions so far in the game. Just over 10 minutes left in this third quarter. They lead by 18 points, the Saints. just the one multiple goal kicker, Barry Hall. 2 goals before half-time. Singles to Mitchell, Zilla, Stewie Lowe, Jason Hitley and Trianides. And we can see there so far 40 times St Kilda inside 50 to 22 times the Eagles. Just an indication that they've pumped the ball in there enough times.
KB, wasn't that the most
bigger lead?
Astounding stat you'd seen last week in the first term? The Western Bulldogs, no possessions inside their forward 50. I've never seen anything like that against the Western, or rather the West Coast Eagles.
Well, Aussie, good call, because Peter Everett looking a little bit tired his first game after 4 weeks out. Here's Hutchton. Cool, does it well, gets plenty of support from Zilla. The Saints on the burst. Out of defence through the centre square. Barry Hall just couldn't quite take it. Here's McIntosh in front of Hitley. He's got the pace. Regarded as the quickest player on the Eagles list. Barry Hall keeps the ball alive. Danger here for the Eagles. It's dropping short. Werapunda, magnificent. He wants to transfer the play. Goes short to Kemp, playing his 200th game. Just the 4th possession. Those silky skills are still there. Finds Reid, half-back flank.
Gardner's on in centre wing.
Metropolis was the target. Didn't cover much distance. Back to Reid. They share the ball around. Playing a possession game. Gardner doing the ruck work now. Ball has been placed back onto Barry Hall. That's his 3rd opponent. Michael Gardner looks to have a tremendous future, taking his time, just weighing up the options. Mitchell White, Hutchton from behind will go the big punch off hands. Boundary throw in. So Max Hutchton on screen there. 4th in the best and fairest last year for the Saints, just in his 2nd year. It's been a fine pickup. And a couple of Chile supporters out here at Waverley Park.
18 points the margin. Boundary throw in. Elliott, clean possession, grabbed immediately by Jones. It fell at their feet. Embley tries to dig it out. It comes to Williams, taken front on by Young. Crashes to the turf, does Williams. Young on top. And a ball up. Not a lot of scoring today. An enthralling game so far. Bounce close to the boundary line. Elliott with a fist gains about 10 metres. Sits up on its point. And Jones can't keep it in. Paying close attention. Elliott and Gardner once more. Gardner props in front. Wins it down 2. Zilla's hand pass. Well, it didn't go very far, as you saw. Elliott crawls back in on his knees. Cousins feeds it back to Reid. Reid boots it down towards half forward. White is outnumbered down there. Loose ball at the back. Metropolis does well. Comes across on the angle. Tries to keep it in. Plenty of bodies. Metropolis is hurt. Meantime, Kemp floats it towards the pocket. Burke tries to keep the ball in initially. Has problems now. Claimed by Philip Matera. And will have a bounce. Metropolis on his feet. Seems to be okay. Easy to say from up here. Just caught him high, did Carr coming in. No intent. Elliott knocks it down. Trianides confronted by Williams. It's out of bounds again. In fact, it came off Williams, did it on the full. So it'll be a St Kilda ball. Michael Malthouse, who began his league career at St Kilda back in 1972 under Alan Jeans. Didn't enjoy that one. Trianides down towards the wing. Low comes on a charging lead. At the back, though, Reid will pump it in once more.
So a big chance for the Eagles. Elliott does well. He's been coming off the bench, replacing Spider Everett. He's had a very good season. All started with a very good Ansett Cup and a game against Wayne Carey down in Hobart. Just playing his 20th game, a late bloomer. Played 74 reserves games before getting his first senior game. Walton from the half-back line for the Saints to the half-forward line, looking for Hitley. Thumped away that time by McIntosh, a consummate backman. Boundary throw in. 52 plays 34. The Saints led by 20 points at quarter time, 10 points at half-time. A lead by 18 with just over 6 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Saints have won their last 3 encounters against the Eagles. Thompson, quiet day for him. Inside 50, Hitley. Again, the big fist that time of McIntosh. Mitchell Going to ground was Wirrapunda. Mitchell tried to keep the ball alive. Boundary throw in, just 45 metres around from St Kilda's goal.
Yeah, a little bit stiff on that occasion. No doubt he tried to find Jason Hitley, who pushed forward of that contest. He was all by himself in that part of the ground.
Gavin Mitchell started his career with Fremantle. Never tasted success against the West Coast Eagles. Stewie Lowe and Djakovic, the two big men, shoulder to shoulder. Harvey, great footwork by Cousins. He ran into some heavy traffic. Traianides just paddles the ball along, kicked off the ground by Ball. McLaren. Zilla just shovels the ball out to Barry Hall with strength. Just shrugs off Cousins, back to Mitchell. Danger here. Stewie Lowe pushing and shoving, couldn't take a one-hander. Djakovic rockets the ball wide, opens it up to Gardner. Plenty of run now for the Eagles out of defence. Kicks the ball wide. He was looking for Mitchell wide. Hutchton, big fist away. They need a crummer. Great hands taken by Kemp to centre half forward. Philip Matera, out comes Cummings. Got a bad bounce. Taken away by Burke. Rockets the ball back. He was looking for Carr. Danger here. Matera's the best tackler this year for the Eagles. Back to Mitchell wide. 45 metres out. Peckett's going to mark it in the square.
Peckett plays on immediately. Burke still inside the 50. Thompson marks the kick, wants to go. Half distance pass to Carr. Carr gives it across to Zilla. Zilla towards half forward and Mitchell. End-to-end stuff suddenly. Mitchell's away. Kicks well inside the 50. Going back is Ball. He'll need to go. Hitley at the back to Crum. It's bouncing towards goal. How will it bounce? Hit the post. The heartbreaker for the Saints.
St Kilda are obviously trying to rotate their midfield as much as possible. Thompson and Bolton has come off the ground. They've been replaced by Brown and Francis. No doubt they'll have certainly fresh legs in this last 5 minutes of play.
Williams dropped the mark. Young controls it well inside the 50. Finds Lowe. Stuart Lowe only about 25 metres out.
Dennis, it's been an interesting tactic by Tim Watson today on all West Coast Eagles kick-ins, or generally, especially when they're kicking the ball into the breeze. They've gone with the man-on-man approach, whereas in the second quarter, when the Eagles were kicking with the wind, they used the zone defence, trying to cover as much ground as possible, especially at Waverley Park.
Andrew Williams will be hoping this misses. Stuart Lowe may have missed to the far side. It wasn't that far away, but a behind. Williams fumbled the mark from the kick in and then tried to pick it up instead of perhaps just pushing it towards the boundary line. McIntosh. Nail-biting stuff at the moment. Embley, so the youngster's getting a workout in the pocket. Embley just got away. A game of centimetres. The kick goes towards the outer side. Williams makes amends, takes the mark on his chest. Williams off his step, finds the leading Metropolis, getting some possessions on the forward line. Daniel Metropolis told to play on, kicks it down towards the attacking 50. Ball props in front, almost the mark. Kemp is in there, so too Jones. Peckett against the flow. Banfield confronted by Zilla, bounces off him, throws it on the boot down towards full forward. Gardner from behind, well played down there by Wakeland. Plenty of Eagles in front. Embley didn't have the ball. Traianides did well despite all of that. Dragged down, but I'm not sure that Traianides didn't tackle Embley without the ball. Yet the Eagles had 3-on-1, so probably should have done better.
Well, Traianides did very well there. 4 Eagles players. He's held the ball up. Here's the blood rule for Embley. St Kilda have hit the post 3 times in this game, twice in this quarter. For Stewie Lowe and also Jason Hitley, and Peter Everett also hit the post in the second quarter. They lead by 20 points. That was the margin also at quarter time. Embley. And also going off is McLaren for the Saints, so a 2-way change. Lenny Hayes comes on for St Kilda. Just a teenager, his first season with the Saints, and Peter Matera comes back onto the ground. There's young Hayes. So 54 plays 34. There will be a ball up 50 metres out from the Eagles' goal. They've only kicked 2 goals right of screen, and both goals have come from Philip Matera. So against the breeze, they have struggled to score. Gardner doing the ruck work with Elliott. Hutchton. Elliott does well at ground level. Foreign territory for the big man. Pumps the ball back inside the centre square. Reid to Wirrapunda. Quick hands. It was a look away handball. Puts him under pressure. Barry Hall came in hard. So a transfer played. Morrison will take it on the half-back flank. Mitchell White's on a long lead. That's been ignored. Wirrapunda. He's under pressure. Zilla will hit him hard. He does well. Wirrapunda, magnificent balance. Gets the ball back to Morrison. Sets it back to Cousins. They backtrack, concede ground. The kick's a good one. Finds McIntosh. Can it open up for the West Coast Eagles? Metropolis on the forward line. It's where he made his name in his first game. Booted 6 against the Saints. Francis from the back edge of the centre square. That's a beautiful kick. And finds Hayes.
Harvey has 22 possessions now involved in this movement as Hayes gives it to Carr. Carr hurriedly finds Barry Hall about 65 metres from goal. Hall pulls it back towards the middle, wide of the target though, but Francis can run onto it. That was crude from behind, could have been a free kick there, nothing doing. Comes across to Reid, gets by Hall, nicely done, to Kemp. Eagles lucky, I thought, across the half-back line there. Could have easily been a free kick to Francis. Kemp drives it up towards the wing. Mitchell White in front, wearing him like a glove was Hutchton, and the ball is fisted away across the line.
And those two have certainly had an enthralling battle. Mitchell White started this game exceptionally well. Looked like he was going to cause problems for Hutchison, but Hutchison certainly has fought back probably since the halfway mark of the first quarter.
1:40 till three-quarter time. Late goals have been a feature in the previous two terms. Harvey to Zilla. Who will get the late goal here? It could tip the balance. Loose ball at the back. Well done by the defender. Sliding in there was Gardner. It bounced up. As far as Elliott was concerned, his eyes lit up. He thought that was a half chance, but Gardner, sensing the danger, got a very timely hand on this ball.
I thought Stephen Zilla may have gone all the way then, Dennis. Had a clear run into goals and just could have gone a bit longer.
Minute and a half left in this third quarter. Big opportunity for the Saints. Just 15 metres out from goal. Taken by Zilla. Kicks across the face. Taken by Morrison. Saints by 20 points. Looks like a pirate. Chad Morrison. Those long sideburns and the little goatee underneath the chin.
Now, why wasn't that 50 metres, KB? Lenny Hayes just went over the mark, encroached the space for Morrison to kick into.
Well, if you go over the mark, it's 50 metres. It's as simple as that. Saints hold him up inside the centre square. Gardner intercepts. Gives the ball hurriedly back to Jakovic, who again goes wide to Wirrapunda. Rarely wastes possession. This time it was a hurried kick around the corner to McKenna. The mind is ticking over. Wants to set it up. Just waited the handball to Jones. The kick's a poor one, just tumbles it forward. Burke playing in front, but a free kick down the field. So the ball is coming back.
Yeah, Tony Francis is a little bit stiff there. I think his momentum pushed him into the West Coast Eagles opponent, thus the umpire paying the free kick down the field.
26 seconds to go.
Philip Matera, 75 metres out. Cummings, just the one goal today. Did set one up to Matera as well, over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Well, in the opening term, Philip Matera got a late goal, and then in the second term, Barry Hall after the siren. I think a goal here for the Eagles, if they can conjure one, would tip the balance their way. Lowe brilliantly done. He's got other ideas. Hutchton combines with Harvey to Burke. Burke comes away. I think the danger is past. Hall on the wing could have been interfered with. Then has a bit of a problem on the deck. Ball continued to come. There's the siren. And even for Barry Hall, this is too far out. Three-quarter time at Waverley Park.
I'd have a shot.
You don't want to die wondering, do you? How strong is that breeze? I'll try a spiral. Three-quarter time as Michael Malthouse comes down from his coaching position. And this game still very much in the balance. The West Coast Eagles will finish on the breeze, but they trail by 20 points. It's 7-12 to 5-4.
In the centre square, and Cousins, Braun and Banfield.
Not bad quality. Of course, Some quality opposed to them too. Robert Harvey is in there. Everett goes up to tap it down into his path. He knees it towards half forward. Williams gets back though. Hand passes to Rintoul. He should be fresh. Hasn't seen many minutes. Makes the right decision. Jakovic peeling off from half back. Probing kick down towards half forward. Peter Matera leads back in the race. This could be the early goal. He knows in his own mind they need it. He misses to the near side. That would have been a lifter. Didn't miss by much.
Just looked like he got under the ball a bit that time to me, Mick.
Yeah, he certainly did, KB, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Peter Matera play a lot more deep towards goal this quarter, trying to nullify the effectiveness of a run of Damien Ryan, especially in this last quarter.
Stewie Lowe, just too big that time for Williams. So it was a good option by Peckett, who runs hard, needs a kind bounce and gets it. Keeps the ball alive, trapped by Morrison, rockets the ball back to Carr. Good play by Metropolis, pushes the ball back over the line. Let's see who's on the bench for the Saints.
Gavin Mitchell, Tim Elliott, Jason Trinides and Ben Walton.
So boundary throw in on centre wing. It's a 19-point ball game. Jakovic has got better as the game has gone on. Many thought he wasn't going to take his spot today, but he's done well. Here's Nathan Burke, drops it. Could open up Mitchell White, may have been caught high. There was no free kick. Burke, tough in the clinches, gets the ball out. There's Carr, tackled by Mitchell White. Strong tackle. And they'll ball it up on 50.
I've got to say, KB, I was watching the umpire as White appeared to be taken high, and he wasn't watching the play. He was actually concerned about some bodies charging towards him. Pay attention.
So a chance for the Eagles, kicking with the breeze in this last quarter. Francis, it's been handy again today to Young. Does well, great vision. Finds Hutchton. He's had a great battle with Mitchell White. Comes away, goes short and finds Lenny Hayes, the youngster. They spent a lot of time on the interchange bench. They predict big things down at St Kilda. Too much carry that time for Barry Hall. Cousins beats Harvey that time. McKenna, they share the ball around. The old head and the young head. The old star and the new emerging one. McKenna sets it up. Mitchell White wants to keep it moving. He finds Banfield on the burst from the centre wing, tries to spear it. Taken on the half volley was Cummings. He needs support. Metropolis shares the ball to Braun. Now he's within kicking distance with the breeze at his back.
And every time they separate the St Kilda defence, West Coast look more fluent, more cohesive on the way through. It's certainly suiting the St Kilda team, especially around the stoppages. You look up and you'll see a nest of players around that area. What they've got to do now late in this quarter is really separate themselves from those sort of stop play situations.
He's just kicked the one goal for the season, across the face, and Peter Everett claims the mark. He does.
KB, not one West Coast Eagles player went up in that contest. They just need to compete in that last line of attack, I suppose.
Spider sorting out his access to the ground here. Dean Kemp, 8 possessions so far, standing the mark. As Everett kicks it back towards the members' side. Carr the flyer from behind. Peter Matera picks it up. Good tackle, brought him down, but not before he got the hand pass away to Cousins. Cousins under pressure. Well played by Brown. Good tackle was laid too. It spills across towards Ryan. He's confronted by Banfield and the ball goes out of bounds.
No doubt Mitchell White certainly hurt himself. I reckon there's something wrong, whether it be with his leg or his groin part of his body, because he certainly comes straight off the ground. Belotti's gone forward.
That could hurt the West Coast Eagles. Zilla drives it up towards the wing. How's that for a mark? Low. He was about 4th man in the queue, reached over the top and bucketed the ball. Stewie Lowe at his best, forward of the wing, a high kick down towards half foot. Can the Saints get a goal here? Morrison dropped it. Rintoul in trouble. Crashing in was Francis, picking it up brilliantly. The silky skills of Kemp to Matera. He comes wider and finds Cousins. So the chance goes begging for St Kilda. The team that takes their chances in this final term will win. Williams inside the 50 goes the kick. Wakeland and Cummings. Suddenly the roles reversed. Carr arrives quickly, deep in the pocket. Wakeland waits, picks it up, hand passes to Burke. Burke, a cool head, finds Young. Young hard against the line, threads the needle and finds Everett. Well played by the Saints. Everett lopes away. Thinks about the long kick along the wing, then centres the ball. Very dangerous kick. Morrison takes the mark. And Reed is on for him, although that's closed up now. Good defence. Getting back was Ryan to cover Reed. And Morrison, with the moment gone, decides to go for distance.
And goes towards the square. Playing in front was Young. Off hands Carr, does well, heads straight for the line. Braun, can he trap it? He does well. Hard up on the boundary line, goes short. Finds Reed. So a goal here will lift the spirits of the Eagles. They trail by 19 points. This to drag it back to 13. Braun there. Did well and then didn't blaze away, just set it up to Reed. So Metropolis is off and Embley is on.
Oh.
It's a wild kick by Reed across the face of goals. Bellotti was there off hands for a boundary throw in.
Didn't make much sense then, KB. He's played on quickly to get an open shot at goal, and he's just almost kicked it into the man on the mark, Spider Everett.
I didn't think his angle was that bad.
No, it wasn't too bad, but he's tried opening up, but wrong thing to do.
Gardner took it out of air. Here's a chance. Cousins, quick snap. One behind.
Well, they're plugging away now, the West Coast Eagles, creating chances. Mitchell White looking on. Not much he can do at the moment. I'd love him out there. Low, lunging mark. Good again this afternoon. In the back pocket, off his step. Not a good-looking kick. It bounces okay for Young. Young's run a long way. Now he bounces the ball. He's up towards the wing. Urapunder over the top. Hayes, though, leads back, gets onto the fisted ball to Francis. Here come the Saints. Francis finds Hall. And Hall is marked deep in the pocket. I doubt he could kick it from here. The breeze will blow the ball away from the goals. He's already got a couple. Needs somebody to get on the end of it. Although he's had a very good afternoon. His confidence should be high. If he were to kick this, given all the chances the Eagles have had at the other end, that could just about deflate them. Hall bending it back. That's a magnificent kick. What a kick! What a kick! It's a goal. His third.
Yeah, terrific shot on goal by Barry Hall. It's amazing when you do control the football for a long period of time like the West Coast Eagles have in their part of the ground. And all of a sudden we see the transfer of play. Good running there by Young out of defence. Terrific body use by Hayes to get Urapunder out of that contest. Precision ball kicking by Tony Francis. But Barry Hall's been an exceptional player all day. Kicked his third for the day.
3 goals to Barry Hall. He's been the danger man today. They just haven't really been able to hold him. They had Jakovic, Bellotti, and now Ball trying to curb his brilliance. Banfield out of the centre square. The Eagles need a reply. Some pushing and shoving. Scotty Cummings was down there. Hasn't been able to really have an influence today. Max Hudson goes short, finds Harvey. 25 possessions to Harvey. And a big second quarter. This is a great kick to Young. Backs himself in. Caught under pressure. Gets it back to Ryan. Has been a good player for the Saints today. Rintoul threads the ball out to Reed. Around the corner, tumbles it forward. They need a good bounce. Hitting the ball hard was Carr. Comes away from the half-back flank. 2 casual bounces. Pops it out in front. He's looking for McLaren. He's had a quiet day. He's had a good season. Gets support. Teenager in Hayes. Driven into the ground was Francis by Reed. Will take the free kick. Saints by 24 points. Led by 20 points at three-quarter time. Harvey loves to be the playmaker to McLaren. Centre wing. Unloads both barrels. Spider! Couldn't take it on the second grab. McKenna. Long raking handball. De Braun caught high. Must take the free kick. Crunch to the ground. It's physical. It's been a tough day at the office.
Here's the free kick here. They're on screen. Certainly head-high tackle by Stephen Ziller. Braun certainly is tough. He'll get up from that contest.
Looks a bit sore.
Heavily bandaged left leg.
St Kilda.
Mixed it. Steve Ziller too. He's as tough as they come.
He's done a terrific job. Initially had the run with roll playing on Cousins, Oz, and he's been quite constructive for the St Kilda team himself.
I'd be surprised if Braun isn't taken from the field. Hutchton takes the mark. It's St Kilda's won their last 3 games against the West Coast. Haven't beaten the side that's in the top 8 as it stands at the moment. West Coast undefeated. Matera just flopped the ball forward, taken by Hudson, gained cool under pressure. The back line for the Saints standing up. Carr goes wide and finds Francis, whose delivery today has been impeccable. Young, again, loves to take him on from the half-back line. Pumps the ball inside 50. Thompson pushed out of the way by McKenna, who's been unbeatable today. A transfer of play. He's looking for Gardner. They can set it up. Reed's loose. They need some runners. He should give it across to Cousins on the burst. Can the young champ set it up? Here comes Cummings. Great play over the top was Wakeland. Sensational defence, that time by Wakeland. Kicks the ball wide. Ryan will be happy to take the ball over.
Wasn't that great?
KB, just in that instance, you can't be critical of Scott Cummings. He's led well, and Ben Cousins just missed the mark.
Yeah, good point, Aussie. There's no doubt about that. There's the last goal from the West Coast Eagles, the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. But Benny Cousins certainly had the opportunity to find Cummings, who did get on the lead, did get on the burst. Just kicked the ball far too high, gave Wakeland the opportunity to defend.
Yeah, Wakeland back after a hammy. Was concussed both times these sides played last season. Wide of the pack. Harvey, 26th possession. His season's high 33 against Carlton in the last round as Elliott kicks it down towards half forward. And Stuart Lowe. Wonderful mark. Towards the 50. Ball's in front. Working hard was Hall. Matera got it to McKenna, who's been a grand defender. Peter Matera gathers the ball, arches the back, comes away, kicks it back to the wing. Brilliantly done by Gardner. Stole it from Elliott. Runs on. The kick, though, into the forward line is poor. Wakeland again in front of Cummings. Goes by hand to Hodgson. Storms past. Gets the return hand pass. He's inside the centre square. Goes down towards half forward. Plenty of Eagles around the ball. Peter Matera missed it. McIntosh waiting behind. Slips it away, taken by Djakovic at left half back. He slips over, slaps it back. Well played in the circumstances. Cousins lost it. Things won't go right for the Eagles. Cousins the hand pass to Djakovic. Good chase too from the Saints. Djakovic though eventually gets it up towards the wing. I know it's down there somewhere, says Reed as he gets the hand pass across to Kemp. Kemp forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50. White's back on the ground, but the mark is held in defence by that man again. Stewie Lowe, his 11th mark. Off his step, finds Burke.
Well, Stewie Lowe has taken 2 great marks on the forward line. Now a timely one in defence. Carr.
It's been a long time with KB.
Mantle.
I've seen the West Coast Eagles use the ball so ineffectively when they've been unforced errors from quality players.
Saints by 24 points. Under 9.5 minutes left. There he is. Big, bad, bustling Barry Hall. What a star he's been today. Been absolutely magnificent. The man from Broadford in Victoria. Hitley on a lead. It's been ignored. He's booted 3 goals, 3 today, Barry Hall. He's had 3 opponents and unloads with both barrels. Here's Elliott. He's got it. An emerging young player as well. 74 games in reserves before he got a crack at it in the big time. Looks for Zilla. Goes to ground. Harvey can't keep the ball alive. Boundary throw in. 25 metres around from St Kilda's goal. There's Harvey. Always looks exhausted until the ball comes into his area. Inside 50. We can see there St Kilda's been very good today. They've been dominant, but West Coast in this last quarter have got the ball inside 50. They can't score. McIntosh inside the centre square. Mitchell White this time beats Hudson. It's been a terrific duel. They need to get the ball moving quickly. Cummings says, kick it high in the air. One-on-one with Wakeland. Young across in front. They need a crummer. They just haven't quite had a crummer on the forward line this last quarter, the Eagles. They've had enough time to get the ball onto the ground, as the stats just showed, inside 50, but no crummers. Under pressure. Hayes does well for a youngster. Cool under. Pressure again. Back to Stewie Lowe. Playing back and forward. Looks for his partner in crime. His skipper there in Burke. Had it and lost it. Recovers well. Feeds it off to Zilla. On the burst. Here come the Saints. Pushed out was Barry Hall. No free kick. It's tough in the clinches. The prize is big. The Saints looking for that 4th win of the season. West Coast undefeated. We've got a ball up on the half-back flank for the Eagles.
And a free kick.
And a free kick is going to Bellotti.
Time a problem now for the Eagles. Under 8 minutes to go. That was Braun. Meantime, Cousins kicking it up just over the wing. Coming through is Lowe, who's been wonderful. Gets the hand pass away. Hayes, likely type. Kicking down towards half forward. Plenty of Eagles down there opposed to Hall. Chances are Hall could win. He's had that sort of day. He does win. Falling to the ground. Well played, big fella. Gets it across to Zilla, who kicks inside the 50. McKenna. Kemp. Feeds it back to Morrison. Morrison comes to McIntosh. McKenna's on again. He ignores that and boots it up towards midfield instead. Gardner coming in from the side. The small man Mitchell played it brilliantly. Lays it off to Harvey. Harvey goes short. Finds Zilla. You get the feeling the Saints have weathered the storm. Zilla inside the 50. Elliott can just about finish it right here. I think it's bending back. It's good. That's the exclamation point they were looking for.
Yeah, certainly a much-needed goal. Timmy Elliott, who's been on and off the ground all day, such a laconic type of character, but no doubt can play this game of ours. He's only had 7 possessions today, but we see the build-up here. Harvey just breaking up play, didn't kick to the forward part of the ground, assessed his options. Good use by Zilla, who's seen Elliott out wide, and that's a great shot on goal into the breeze.
There's the coach's box. Tim Watson on the phone. They lead by 30 points. Can they topple the West Coast Eagles? Undefeated this year. Gardner got his hands on the ball. Banfield under pressure. Tumbles it forward towards centre half forward. Mitchell wide, all tied up by Hutchton. Again, Harvey. Magnificent running player. So hard to tackle. Hayes and Wirapunda. He's got the numbers. Here comes Peckett down from the last line of defence. Gives it across to Harvey. Goes short. Big man. Busling's got it again. Zilla takes him on. Kicks towards Mitchell. Backing back. He's got it. He's lost it. Snap around the corner. Quick snap off target. The Saints now pressing hard. Got the Eagles on the back foot.
There's no doubt about that, KB, and I think that last passage of play has been symbolic of the whole game. It's been the St Kilda team who've ran that harder across the duration of the event. West Coast to me looked to be that little bit jaded.
McIntosh up towards the wing. Hudson over the top of White. Kemp in front. Gathers the bouncing ball and uses it well. This is Reid, who plays on to White. White goes out wide to Gardner. He's trying hard, the big man. Inside the centre square, unloads with a long kick down towards full forward ball. Maybe a push in the back. He runs back into an open goal and gets a belated goal.
Yeah, ball was played at both ends of the ground, played in the ruck. He went to Barry Hall when he certainly took this game by the scruff of the neck. We see here the build-up. As Dennis mentioned, Michael Gardner has tried extremely hard for most of the day. He's ran hard for being a player of 6'6". There's ball, took the contested mark, just got his opponent in car out of that contest. Better judgment, kicked an easy goal. He's first for the day.
Back to 25 points, the Saints. 67 plays 42. So a bit of aggro there with Carr and ball. The Saints had led at every change. They led by 20 points at quarter time, 10 points at half time, and 20 points at three-quarter time. Can the Eagles keep on coming? Banfield inside 50. Cummings in front. Hasn't been his day. Reid at the foot of the pack. 45 metres out. Kicks a high ball. It's one for the Brave. Harvey stood his ground. Cousins caught high. No free. Kicked off the ground by the Saints defence. Peckett has been very good today. Kemp in game number 200 has got it.
Certainly was a free kick, wasn't it, to Benny Cousins? He gets strangled around the neck.
Well, he should kick this. He's a very good kick, Dean Kemp. Hasn't been his best day. He's just kicked the 2 goals for the season. But he is a very good kick. He's got the breeze at his back. And this will keep the Eagles alive. He's not going to quite make the distance. Ball in front's got it. Well, they just won't go away, the West Coast.
Yeah, good mark there by Jason Ball. Found front position. Height, such an important thing late in the game. Elliott now is pushed back. Good discipline play to centre the ball.
Lucky it was to Gardner. Put up those go-go gadget arms. Well, he hasn't kicked a goal this season, Michael Gardner. He's playing his 31st game, an important kick to keep their chances alive. Michael Gardner. He's got it.
Yeah, good play there by the West Coast Eagles. Certainly are still coming at St Kilda, whether it's time against them with 4 minutes to play. Good play there by Ball. Found front position to take that contested mark against Tim Elliott, who's pushed back to plant him for this last 4 or 5 minutes of play. Good kick to open up the angle for Gardner. As mentioned before, he has worked extremely hard. There's his statistics, 16 possessions and 1 goal.
So the margin back to 19 points, but time is running out, just over 4 minutes to go. Gardner goes up and knocks it down. He booted the last goal. Harvey grabs it though and drives it down towards half forward for the Saints. McKenna couldn't complete the mark. The crumb falls to Morrison. He breaks away. Time of the essence now. Morrison up towards midfield. The Eagles finishing on the breeze, but the Saints have been very good in this final term. Kick inside the 50 and Burke gets back. And that's a timely mark to Elliott, whose goal about 3 minutes ago seemed to clinch it, and perhaps that's what his teammates thought as well, because they allowed the Eagles in for 2 quick ones. And now he's slowing it down. 67 plays 48, 3.5 minutes to go. Elliott short to Zilla, but too easy. Zilla comes away from half back, sends play up towards the wing. No doubting he'll mark this. Stewie Lowe, one of the great aerialists of all time in the AFL.
He's played a big last quarter, Dennis.
Terrific. Unloads down towards half forward. BBB's there, but going back is McKenna. It ricochets off his hands and goes across the line.
They're imposing figures, aren't they, Dennis, of Stewie Lowe's 20 possessions and 12 marks.
Yeah.
He's played a great game, Guy McKenna.
Yep. It'll be hard to vote on this one. Trianides out of the congestion, down towards full forward. Here he is again. In trouble though, Hall this time, taken front on by Bellotti. Spills come across to Reid. Reid peels off and drives it towards the outer side wing. Jakovic controls it. Low, strong tackle brought him down. Following up is Reid, who soccers off the ground to Kemp as he pushed in the back. Hayes right there, well done. Wirapunda slips away. Wirapunda forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Cummings is jostling, and that's too easy. Cummings didn't get his hands above his head there.
That's been a reflection of his game today. He's been behind every time the ball's come into his area, except for a couple of occasions. You must come and meet the player who's streaming forward, at least give an option and find front position.
Full marks to Daryl Wakeland, because he's fought hard to get in front today, realising that if he let Cummings get in front with his bulk, it'd make it very difficult. Harvey keeps on running the running machine, goes to the edge of the centre square and finds Carr. So the umpire was down, bounced up.
Blew the whistle sitting down, actually. Great poise.
Saints by 19 points. Carr just indicating wants to kick the ball to the member side. Trianides is the target. Backing back is Stewie Lowe. Been magnificent in this last quarter. He's taken 13 marks. He's had 20 possessions. He's kicked the goal and he's also hit the post. But 2 of his marks in this last quarter on the half-forward line, absolute rippers. Big Spider comes back onto the ground. So does Thompson, going off his car, and also there's Big Spider. Inside 50, Hayes. All tied up. They want holding the ball, they'll get a ball up. Cody Francis has also gone off onto the interchange bench as well. So the time clock ticking away. Just a few seconds over a minute left. Big Spider back on the ground. He's got Gardner to beat. Here's Harvey, just keeps on winning the ball. Banfield has been his minder all day. Peter Matera couldn't quite get his fist to it. All tied up by Nathan Burke. Walton A wild hand pass, thumped forward that time by Gardner. Here's Harvey again with those quick hands back to Burke. Inside 50, danger for the Eagles. Hitley thumps the ball away. Walton can feed it off, lost it. Good play by Kemp on hands and knees. Here's a chance, quick snap. Lenny Hayes. It's missed.
So the unbeaten run for the West Coast Eagles has come to an end. And the Saints back in business. Terrible start to the season. Demolished by the Lions at the Gabba. But slowly and steadily, they've got it back together. And even a couple of their recent losses have been very narrow. Wirapunda coming away, nothing much on up the ground, so he goes for the short chip. It bounces for Djakovic. Djakovic goes looking for White. White lays it off. Wirapunda again. A hand pass across to Banfield. Only seconds remaining. A big roar will go around Waverley Park. The Saints have done it. And what a fine record they have against the West Coast Eagles. They've won the last 4. 9-14 to 7-6. The margin 20 points. And on the balance of play, St Kilda by far the better side this afternoon. The Eagles near enough if good enough, but they could never get over the hump. Dean Kemp, his 200th, a loss. Peter Everett's return, a win. And the signs were there that Everett is such an influential player for these Saints. Not at his best today, but certainly he was very good at the bounces around the ground. As we go down to Aussie with Barry Hall, who finished with 12 marks.
Well done, Barry. Fantastic game for yourself and for the club.
Oh yeah, it was an important game for us. You know, West Coast is the benchmark of the competition at the moment, and it's really important for us to see where we're at and get a good win today.
You're playing very consistent football at the moment. Personally, obviously you've worked hard at your game.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to get a bit of fitness up at the moment and starting to get a bit of touch, so hopefully I can continue.
You mentioned benchmarks of the competition, the West Coast Eagles on top of the ladder, so even more important to have a good game against them today.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's as you know, they're a great side and they good pressure till last minutes of the game, you know, so that's where we're at the moment.
Well, you're a fantastic footballer to watch, mate. Thanks for your time and good luck for the rest of the season.
He is indeed an exciting player. Barry Hall hasn't always been fashionable, but he's becoming something of a cult hero. And the Eagles were the hero of their own this afternoon, applauding Dean Kemp off the ground, albeit in a loss, his 200th game today. Barry Hall, meantime, is celebrating with his teammates. 25 marks between that pair we saw. Stewie Lowe finished with 13, Hall with 12, and the Saints get the spoils. They win by 20 points at Waverley.